welcome to Honest Tool Reviews. Today I'm going to do a video that's a little bit different for a lot of reasons. This is going to be an educational video for people in my age group and below. I know since I have shaved my head, I don't look the same age group that I did. So to be more specific, if you're 45 to 16, here is how you survive getting pulled over by the police. I feel that I need to make this video because people seem to have no clue how they're supposed to act around the police. So I'm going to go through step by step what you do and why. Now, what puts me in a position to tell you what to do? Well, to start with, I've got 22 speeding tickets under my belt. I'm sorry, every time I say it, I cannot believe it. I'm going for 23. So, I have survived 22 encounters. Well, survived more than that. Survived 22 speeding ticket related encounters with police officers pulling me over. And I have survived probably 18 of them having had a concealed carry gun or an open carry gun. So I'm going to go through the process and why. And if this video is not for you, you can click off. If this video somehow offends you, you can click off. If this video is not to your standards, you can click off. If you just don't like that it's a white guy telling you how to survive from the cops and you want to make it some kind of racist bullcrap, you can fuck off. But my attempt to help you is this. Now let's get started. So step one, you're driving. Whatever it is you're driving. Now, a little tip about driving. If you follow the laws, you're not likely to be pulled over. Just saying. That's a big one. Laws are what makes a police officer go, I have to pull them. I have to. Because they have a dash cam that sees in front of the vehicle. They have a little gun radar that tells them how fast you were going. And they have a camera on their chest that records everything they say and do. And if they hear on that radio, little recording device, that he has scanned you at 5 over and does not pull you over, that's going to get him in trouble. That's his job, to pull you over when you break the law. So step one to surviving is not to do it in the first place. Now, it's advice that I'm not taking myself, but it's there. And it's good advice, and I should take that advice. I really should. But moving forward from there, step two, when you're driving what you're driving, you can be pulled over without breaking the law, because subsequently what you're driving is not up to code, which is kind of breaking the law, but technically not breaking the law. If having a tail light out was absolutely illegal, you would not be allowed to drive the vehicle home. But if you have a tail light out, a police officer will pull you to tell you you have a tail light out and or issue you a warning or ticket or citation, depending on what town, what kind of police officer, sheriff, deputy, K-9 unit. Some people are nicer than others, and I can't tell you what you would get. But when you get pulled over for improper equipment, that is because something on your vehicle is improper. So the second step, instead, is not speeding, not throwing beer bottles out your window and driving in the wrong lane. You're obeying all the laws. Now you have to have proper equipment. If you're driving a 1998 Crown Victoria and you got a tail light busted out, one of the doors don't half shut, and the whole car is rusty, they're liable to pull you over for the tail light. If the tail lights are fixed, they're liable to pull you over because the car looks like a road hazard. If they see that the license plate has a good sticker on it, they can still pull you over for a welfare check over the safety of the vehicle and inspect it. But here's the amazing thing. If you're not breaking any laws, if they inspect the vehicle and it's good, so it's not improper equipment, it's just ugly, you're fine. There's nothing wrong with having an ugly vehicle. But, and this sounds really, really stupid, if it's ugly, you're going to catch their attention. If it looks ragged, you're going to catch their attention. So, try to have a slightly better, more respectable looking vehicle. Don't run two donuts. Don't have eat shit cop bumper stickers. Don't have I can still carry without permits stickers. Don't have LGBTQ stickers that say shit like only gay cops pull me over, because that will make a cop pull you over irregardless of them being gay. And if they are gay, they'll pull you over. And if you don't want a ticket, maybe don't attract their attention, because there are gay cops. Alright, moving along. So, don't break the law. Have proper equipment and or semi-attractive equipment. Okay, moving on to step 3 to surviving is no drugs, no illegal handguns, no illegal persons. I don't care how much y'all want to get butthurt in the comments. The law is the law. If you are illegal to this country, there is no chance of you stopping, showing the police officer you do not have an ID, do not have insurance, do not have registration, and are driving a vehicle 100% illegally that should not be on the road and has to be borrowed or stolen for you to have plates on it. You're not going to get out of that. If you're illegal, you're illegal. That is the law. I can't change that. I don't care what you think or how you feel. Come through the border legally. Just do the damn paperwork and hand them the damn $100 or so and come through legally. Then the next part is the drugs. If you get pulled over for any probable cause or speeding or improper equipment, and that window goes down and it smells like weed, I'm sorry, I don't care. It's the law. You've given them probable cause. They smell it. They need to find it. That's their job. So now they're checking your car. They better not find an illegal gun, or they better not find a legal gun you're not legal to have. They better not find the drugs. You better have smoked all of it. They better not find open beer cans. Those things will cause you problems. It's almost like I'm just repeating laws that people should know. But just in case I'm not, or just in case you don't know them, there are laws. No open beer cans in your vehicle while it's being operated, or in public at all. In North Carolina, weed is still technically illegal. They can get you for it. If you are a felon, you cannot have a handgun. You cannot have a long gun. You cannot have them. No ma'am, no sir. Don't have them. If you are illegal, you cannot obtain paperwork to go anywhere in a vehicle that you are operating, because you can't get the paperwork to operate it. Don't get pulled over. come through the right way. Okay. Step 4 to surviving a police pullover. Don't be a smartass. Don't be a dumbass. Shut up. Agree. Apologize. Put your head forward. So why do I say that? But hey, dude. Hey, Honest Tool Reviews. That police officer is an absolute asshole to me. He's a dick. And he's mean to me. I think he might be racist. I don't like this man. Okay, well, hold on. First off, he pulled you over because it's his job. No one wakes up in the morning and wants to do paperwork. If they pull you over, they have to do paperwork. They have to do quite a bit of it. So now that I've explained that, hopefully you trust me. If a police officer did wake up in the morning and want to do paperwork and want to pull you over and do that paperwork, what are you going to do about it? For real. You pull over a police officer. I mean, you get pulled over by a police officer. You've done nothing wrong. He can't do anything. He can't. You're not wanted. You don't have any warrants. You don't have any open alcohol. You don't have any drugs in the car. You don't smell of drugs, so they can't search the car. There's no illegal people in the car. No illegal firearms of any kind. All of your equipment is operating fine. It looks decent. Well, what did he pull you over for? General inspection? Okay. Well, what do you need? He wants to inspect the car? Well, fine. Inspect the car. Got nothing on me. Welfare check? Well, okay, fine. Check the car. Got nothing on me. I was speeding back there. How much was I doing? Can you show me the gun? Let's say he says no. Okay, well, if you can't show me the gun, write me the ticket. Okay. Reckless endangerment? Can you explain the reckless endangerment? Okay, can you write me the ticket? Why am I saying write me the ticket? Because having a ticket does not mean you're guilty. Signing the ticket does not mean you're guilty. Signing the ticket means you accept you have received this ticket. There was a lady who thought to hell and back she was going to get shot because a police officer was getting her to sign a ticket for speeding. She refused because she didn't do it. Well, first off, looked like she was speeding. Second of all, signing it don't make you guilty. So she sat there and refused and bitched and cussed and belittled him while he's trying to do his job. Then she rips up the ticket. An altercation takes place because she won't just sign the ticket and drive away. So the police officer ends up tasing her. She gets arrested for being belligerent and assault on a police officer. Now, yes, I've just told you sign the tickets, drive away. What I want to make clear is the process is police officer says you were doing 70 and a 45. Okay. Okay. Yes, sir. I understand the charges against me. Statement 1. I understand the charges against me. Statement 2. Where do I sign? You sign. They give you your copy. Thank you, officer. I appreciate it. Have a nice day. That's the last statement. They've given you permission to drive away. You put the car in drive. You drive away slowly, carefully, and cautiously, because now you're on the side of the road or in a parking lot. You don't want to hit anybody because your nerves have been elevated. You might be a little bit ill. You might be a little bit aggravated. Your mind's not on the road like it should be. Go ahead and drive, but drive carefully. you don't want to give him a reason to pull you over a second time. You may start to suspect that you have been drinking or under the influence of something, even though he hasn't smelled anything or seen anything. Simply because, hey, I've got to pull this guy over twice in under an hour. Okay? So, the entire process should be that your vehicle looks acceptable. The mechanical parts work appropriately. The car does not stink of any weed. There's no open beer cans in view or anywhere in the car. There's no illegally stashed, hidden, or improper firearms in the vehicle. There's no inappropriate and unpaperworked, undocumented visitors to this country in your car. Then you agree to accept tickets, to accept inspections, because you're innocent and nothing has happened. And you go on your way after signing the papers. Now, I have always been guilty of my speeding tickets. I have never been innocent of my speeding tickets. But I have gotten off of my speeding tickets probably 60% of the time. What am I trying to say? Well, just because the police officer gave you the ticket, even if you are guilty, you're probably not going to face the full effects of the law unless you have a record like me. Now, I, at 21 speeding tickets, got speeding ticket 22, and it cost me about $3,000 to a good lawyer named Jack O'Hell. That man can make a ticket go away. North Carolina law, just like Congress, just like the liberals, just like the Democrats, and unfortunately the Republicans as well, all of them are fueled by money. If you put enough money in certain spaces, certain things go away. If you're that worried, if you're sitting around and you're a young black man and you're thinking to yourself, damn, I got a speeding ticket, they're going to throw me in jail. Okay, first, they're not. Two, pay the money. If you can afford a vehicle that can break the speed limit, you can probably afford to make payments towards a lawyer. They take payments. They take payments. $20 a week, $20 a month. They will send you envelopes as soon as that ticket has hit the system. They will be licking the envelopes and sending them out, and you'll get 5 or 6 that week. You call these lawyers, you find out which one's the cheapest, that they'll make the cheapest payments, that they can get you off the best. And you proceed with the process of having a lawyer go to court for you. And they will most likely move a speeding ticket to a seatbelt infraction. How breaking the law this way can be reduced to breaking the law this way, I'll never know. I wasn't breaking a seatbelt infraction but one time. But I've been charged with it twice, and I've been tried for it 5 times instead of speeding tickets. So I can personally say that it happens. And whether you white, brown, black, Asian, African, Korean, yellow, blue, please don't be blue. If you're blue, you need to see a doctor. But you can pay and it will go away. That's one of the most amazing things about the American justice system. As opposed to being in socialist countries where, oh, he's speeding, shoot him in the head. It's, oh, you're speeding, don't do it again. Here's a piece of paper. Learn. You may have to do a driving class, sit around in a classroom, talk shit with other people that think it's, funny that this or funny that. People laughing and joking about this, and laughing and joking about that. Y'all might have a break for lunch. can actually meet friends that way. I met an ex-girlfriend through driving class, and she was as fast as she was when she got the speeding ticket. Okay, that unadulterated comment aside, that is basically it. But let me go through a couple things with you. Police officer says, you know how fast you were going? Yes, officer. You state the speed limit. You state the speed limit. Now, technically, you could be lying. If you know that you were driving 70 and the speed limit is 65, I am telling you to say 65. That is my advice. It is not legal advice. I am not a lawyer. And technically, that is lying to a police officer. But they can't prove what you think or know. They cannot prove what your intent was. You can get it reduced to improper equipment, meaning your speedometer was wrong. Anywho, you're nice, you tell them the wrong speed. They say, well, I've got you clocked at such and such. And you go, oh, well, I'm terribly sorry. That's what you say. You don't go, oh man, you fool, you lying motherfucking racist pigs. You don't jump in with any of that. I got a friend that feels that way about cops. You don't do that, because you're going to make the man mad. He's standing there with a gun, a taser, pepper spray, handcuffs, and some trust from the government. So they trust him immediately, and he's got a gun. Don't give him a reason to feel anything. Again, because he writes you a ticket does not mean you're guilty. Accept the ticket. Just, oh, I'm sorry, officer. That's it. You start to feel like this is some bull crap, keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. As someone who has been guilty, keep it to yourself. As somebody who has been in someone else's car and gotten a seatbelt violation because that person was speeding, I couldn't say, officer, you didn't have the right to pull me. You pulled him. I can't get a seatbelt ticket. No. You keep it to yourself. It's that simple. It's not the greatest thing in the world to have to hear. I know nobody wants to admit they've done something wrong. This time, shut up, sign the paper, go on your way. Police officer says something like, where you been? Where you headed to? I know you can say, that's none of your business. I know you can say, yo mama. Don't do it. Don't do it. I understand, yes, cops will try to find out if there's something underlying going on. If you say, I came from that house over there, and that house looked like a druggy house, and they know that people have been arrested near that house, by that house, coming in and out of that house with drugs, they're going to assume, we might have somebody here of importance. Don't give them that stuff. When they say, where are you coming from? Say, I've been out today. I'm headed home. When they say, out where? Just say, a number of places, sir. They really probably won't dig any further because they know that you're not trying to answer that question. If they say, where were you headed? You can say work. You can say home. You can say your girlfriend's house. It really doesn't matter. But don't tell them that raggedy house over there. Don't tell them to go get drunk at the Twisted Owl. Don't tell them to the Irish pub up the street. You just don't do that. There's a limited amount that you want to give a police officer, and giving them anything that they may find judgment with is a problem. Like, let's say you're near Texas and the cop's pulling you over, and he's pulling you over for speeding, and you're headed away from the border. They say, where were you headed? You say, just, out, none of your business. Is he trafficking? Is he trafficking something? You've given him a question to think, and they're dicks. Don't do it. Be semi-honest with that. Yeah. My mom's house, mechanic shop, work. Those are good answers. You had anything to drink tonight? Have you had anything to drink tonight? Not supposed to be having alcohol. We done discussed that. But if you went to a bar and you've drunk and you're trying to drive home and you're not drunk but you have drunk alcohol, tell them yes. Not no, yes. It's opposite of the speeding thing. You don't lie. You tell them yes. I had 2 beers at Western Sizzling to go with my steak. Your body weight, your body size, you should know if that's legal. And from there, if he asks you to blow a legal amount, because you're driving legal. Okay. There's nothing to pull you over for. Man tells you to be safe on the roads, go on your merry way. If people in the car with you have been drinking, they've been drinking a lot, I had my limit to legally drive. I'm good. They're wasted. I'm a DD officer. Did somebody here do something that I did not see? If so, I'm sorry. That's simple. That's simple. Being sorry, being communicative, being just the right amount of talkative, and acting friendly will save you so much grief with police officers. Now, I don't care if you're a police officer or not and you disagree with me. The thing is, they have a dangerous job. I know. They signed up for it. I know. But just because they go into this job with bravery and nothing to lose doesn't mean after 20 years they haven't gained a child or two and a wife and have something they want to go home to. Their mindset could have changed since they've entered this job. Also, they deserve to go home to their children whether you like the fact that they chose a dangerous job or not. So, just like OSHA makes sure that the job is safe at your job when you work in a factory, these people have their own ways of protecting themselves, and you don't want to do jerking motions, you don't want to hide anything, you don't want to look suspicious. If you're innocent, there's nothing to hide. If you're innocent, there's no reason not to roll down the window. If you're innocent, there's no reason not to tell them you're headed down to 22 to go see your mom at her house. There's no reason to tell a police officer he can't search your car unless you're headed to work and in a slight hurry. In which case, I will give you this. Police officer pulls you over, you're headed to work, you're not running late yet, but he pulls down the window and he asks where you're headed. You say, I'm headed to work. I got to be there in 30 minutes. And he says, well, where you work? Tell him the truth. Because you can be there in 30 minutes. He can see that. He knows where that place is. Oh, okay. Well, let me get this out of the way for you. You've got a bad tail light. Oh, I'm sorry. I did not know that. Okay. Police officer issues you a warning. Okay, that doesn't cost you anything. Accept it. Police officer gives you a citation. Okay, I've never had one. I don't know what they do. Police officer gives you a ticket. Sign it. Deal with it later. Okay, I promise you, that is way better than getting shot on your way to work. It's way better than being late on your way to work. They give you the paperwork and tell you to be on your way. Be safe. Have a nice day. If you are late to work, try showing that to your boss and seeing if that can help ease the fact that you were late. If not, get up a little bit earlier because it is your responsibility to get you to work safe and on time. And you are aware that there are police on the roads at all times. It is not your job's duty to let you come in late because of a police officer pulling you over. I'm sorry. I don't care what you think about that. That is the way the world works. Okay. So, we've covered how you act, what you drive, how your vehicle should, behave, what you should have in your car, answering questions, being courteous, and I promise you, I would bet my life on it, that if you're a black dude, 6'7", skinny dude, smokes weed or not, dreads or not, whatever, chunky little white boy, whatever, you get pulled over by the cop and your vehicle looks in good condition, it's being upkept, the mechanical parts, the light bulbs and all work, you've kept the music down to the legal limits, there's no drinks in the car, there's no guns in the car, there's no illegals in the car, you're respectable, you talk with him man to man, man to woman, woman to man, y'all humans, doesn't matter, and you're kind and courteous, even if he's a dick, he can only write you a ticket for so much. If you're speeding, you're speeding. If you're speeding and waving a gun out the car, I can't help you. My advice is to do these things. Once you shot another car while passing them in the slow lane, my advice goes out the window. My advice is not legal advice. My advice is what you should do to avoid being shot, to survive a police stop. I think it's good advice. You won't be pulled over, generally, if you don't do anything wrong. So, with that advice, it's very hard to argue that I am wrong. But if you do get pulled over, because sometimes it happens, here's a little bit of how it can go. Because I have been pulled over one time in my 30 years. Here we go. Okay. Set the scene. Lucama, North Carolina. Ho-ho! Drug fucking city. I lived there because I was broke. I worked in a place called Firestone Factory, tire factory. Also called Beto, owned by Bridgestone, in Wilson, North Carolina. Okay, I was driving a 2001 Chevy Cavalier, light gray, metallic color, driving over some railroad tracks, 5-speed stick shift, just driving the speed limit, nothing in my car, on the way to work. Going over the speed limit, going over the speed bumps, police officer was going this way, okay? He slammed on his brakes. Fucking slammed. Got up behind me just as fast, turned them lights on. I pulled over. Pulled over immediately. Pulled over abso-fucking-lutely I did. Rolled down my window, cut the car off. He comes up. He dunks his head inside. Wow. Is there a problem, officer? He goes, I could have sworn when you passed me, I smelled the heaviest amount of weed. Feel free to search the car, officer. I'm headed to work, but I know there's nothing in the car. I've never smoked. Never smoked it. Ever. Never had a cigarette. Never had weed. Never held the shit. Never. I knew there was no way to find anything in my car. Everyone I know knows that I don't. Police officer goes, he smells the car. It's not heavy of air fresheners. It's not heavy of smoke out. It's not heavy of blunt out. Because I'm not making shit obvious if I was smoking weed. And I am, in fact, not smoking weed to begin with. There's nothing for him to question. So then he pulls his head out of my car, apologizes sincerely, and says, drive safe, I apologize, have a great day. He gets back in his car and he pulls another U-turn and goes back that way again, and I continue to go forward. Best thing I could have done. Now, if I could have been actively smoking weed, I'd have had a problem. If I could have had blunt out all over the car, I'd have had a problem. If I could have had, cigarette spray or Axe body spray heavy in the car, I'd have had a problem. If I'd have had alcohol in the car, or if I'd have been actively racking an illegal semi-auto handgun with my Mexican friend that has no papers, I'd have had a problem, okay? I'd have had a problem for all of those reasons. If I'd have had a naked 14-year-old girl in the back seat tied up, I'd have had a problem, okay? It's about following the law. So I have been pulled over for drugs. I have been searched. I have been checked. You follow the law, you don't get in trouble. Now, when the tickets go through the court system, your lawyer and you decide whether or not you're guilty or innocent. Then the law decides whether or not they believe you and your lawyer. And the more money that you're willing to bet on this, the more likely you are to come out innocent. Now let's say you don't have the money. Okay, but here's the thing. If you're absolutely guilty of doing 45 over, that's not an accident. Yeah, you don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble. But I did. Every time I took it. Every time I ate the shit. Every time I spent the money. Money that it's actually kind of hard for me to make. They don't pay me $20 an hour to do something because it's as easy as a McDonald's job. They pay me $20 an hour because it's harder than a McDonald's job. And of course, I'm dropping my pay a little bit because it's nobody's business what I make. But I do a hard job. I work 72 to 76 hours a week. And then on top of that, I work 3 side jobs. If and when, depending on customers. I make that money, and then I have to spend it on a freaking ticket. I know it sucks. I know it hurts. I know it's hard. I know for some people it may mean they're not eating junk food this week. They may have to eat the salad that's been sitting inside the refrigerator for 3 days that you bought. You really don't want to touch it. You bought it because you thought, oh, I might eat a salad this week. And then you're like, nope, pizza, we're going to order Domino's. You get the ticket and you go, crap, I can't afford Domino's. Well, it's kind of your fault for speeding. Now, if the ticket turns out the speed gun was not calibrated, you get let off. Yeah, you spent money on a lawyer, yes, but you get no points on your record. Your license doesn't get points. Your insurance doesn't go up. You're good. You're guilty. Those things happen. But all of that, every bit of that, is after the police stop. My advice is only for how to survive the police stop. So, with all this rambling, and me picking at my itchy, frickin' sunburnt nose, I hope this advice helps. I can't help you if you're breaking the law. But if you're not breaking the law, and you're a non-white person that absolutely terrified that the law was coming for you, they're not. They're not, I promise. There are bad police officers. There are racist police officers. But even they don't wake up in the morning and go, let's pull over some motherfucker for doing 4 over the speed limit and shoot him. No one wants to do that. No one. Not even the racist ones. Because if you have a dead body, you have to explain it. You have to file paperwork. You're out of work a couple days. You're probably not paid for those couple of days. People are asking questions, and you have to deal with that. If you have children, they hear their daddy shot someone. There is talk in the community about that police officer, whether it was racist or not. These police officers do not want this shit, even if they're racist, okay? It doesn't have anything to do with training. It doesn't have anything to do with racism. If you give a police officer a hard time and they think they have to shoot you, it's because they have come to the conclusion that that is the right thing to do. It could be wrong. It could be a wrong conclusion. It could be a bad situation. And the police officer is going to have to deal with it. That does not change the fact that he did not get up that morning aiming to kill you. So, hopefully, if you have done everything the way I have listed it, not speeding, not driving a bad vehicle, not covered in weed, hopefully you can keep your nerves together long enough to accept the ticket and get on your way. That is the only advice anyone can give you. Fight back is not gonna happen. That lady who decided she was gonna drive a car with no license plate and no license because the state took her license because she was unfit to drive, and she decided, well, I'm suing the court system, or I'm suing North Carolina, or I'm suing whatever state it was that she was actually in, and had this talk with the police officer on the side of the road, is irrelevant. You're on the road with a car that does not have plates. It doesn't matter if you're suing anybody or not. It doesn't matter if it's a civil suit or if it's a Supreme Court case. You actively do not have plates on your car, which is a crime, no matter how you cut it. If you do not have a license, it's a crime, no matter how you cut it. Don't. She refused to get out of the car. She handed her children a phone, told them to record. She bitched at these police officers. She whined at these police officers. She cried at these police officers. She screamed at these police officers. She cussed them out. She belittled them. She talked shit. And she refused to budge because she was above the law. She felt the system owed her and thought these police officers who were just doing their jobs, like the lady at McDonald's, that you want to give you a discount and can't do it. They can't do it. It's their job to charge you for food the way the register says to charge you. This lady got tased, then shot, because even tased, she refused to listen. And the children in the back seat, she would not let them take the children. She would not let them have the car. She would not get out of the car. She could not produce a license. She could not produce a license plate. She was absolutely refusing, stopping traffic, being an absolute bitch. I said what I said. You have a civil suit with North Carolina, you take an Uber everywhere. You go to court. You win your court case. You file for your license back. You get your license back. You won your case. They're giving you reparations for that. They're giving you money and hardship money and payments. So it's not costing you money, because all those Ubers you took, you're getting paid now. You're getting it refunded. All of that hardship, you're getting refunded. You're getting your license, you get you a car, you get the insurance, you get the plates, you drive. You don't act a little bitch before the court date. Police officers have nothing to do with the court. Police officers are not judges. Police officers are moving security cameras that have guns that if you shoot them, they die. So they are pretty much human, but their job is to be a security camera, and it's not their fault if they see you doing 30 over. which is why I don't cuss out a police officer that pulls me for doing 30 over. I act sincere. I tell them, okay, I wasn't paying attention. I'm not going to tell them that because that's, reckless driving. But I apologize that I was unaware that that's what they read. I let it go to court. The court asked the big questions. Was that gun scanned that day? Okay. Was he swerving? Can we see the footage? Was his tail lights out? Okay. Sir, do you have proof that you fixed your tail lights? Okay. Just do what you're supposed to do, and you'll be fine. Let me try to explain this one more time for those people panicking that every police officer walking around is waiting for the chance to shoot you. This is going to hurt your feelings. What makes you so goddamn important that the police officers need to shoot you? Okay, I'm below Joe. I am Tom, Dick, and Harry. I am random guy. I am the John Deere from the John Deere letter. I am just me. You're just you. Okay, you could be a Hispanic person. You could be a man. You could be a woman. You could be a transgender. You could be a hermaphrodite. You could be black. You could be Asian. You may barely speak English. But they don't know any of that till they pulled you over. They don't know any of that till they pulled you over. They don't know who's in the car, irregardless of what information the car license plate gives them. They don't know who's driving till they've pulled you over. And even so, what makes you worth doing the paperwork for? What makes you worth taking 3 days leave and not getting paid for it? What makes you worth having to tell their children, yeah, I shot someone today, and that's why I don't go to work tomorrow? Because even if that person's racist, his children probably aren't. If that child of his has a black teacher and she loves that black teacher, and you got to explain you shot a black person, I imagine that's going to hurt your child's feelings. If you come home and you're like, crying and stuff, it upsets the rest of your family because you had to shoot somebody, irregardless of being racist or hateful. These police officers do not want to do it. And by the way, they wouldn't immediately go home. Once there's a body, they have to stand there. They stand down, they remove their gun, they disarm their gun, they put it on the ground, they stand right there till other police officers can assess the new situation. You're not important enough. I'm not important enough to get shot over. It's a sad, sad story for so many people that think the world revolves around them. But it's true. Ellen DeGeneres is not worth getting shot over. Abraham Lincoln was a pretty important guy, but for a random person to shoot him, wasn't worth it. Wasn't worth it. I'm not worth getting shot over. You're not worth getting shot over. Whoopi is not worth getting shot over. It's not. No one is worth going home and ruining your family and being in jail for 24 hours and signing document after document after document after document to sign your life away and then hear all the rumors in the precinct that spread out into the national news. Nobody wants to. God forbid a white person has to shoot any other race. There's going to be at least 24 hours of they were racist, whether the person did it or not. So, the cop doesn't want to do it. Promise you. Promise you. Promise you. There may be mistakes made, but they only happen when mistakes are made on both sides. Okay? That is it. Now, this wasn't a tool review, and a lot of people won't see this and go, oh, let's check out his other videos. And that's fine. That is perfectly fine. But if you like tools, check out my other videos. If you like guns, check out some of my other videos. If you have ideas for other videos, let me know. And if you disagree with this, again, you could have clicked off. You wrote it this far, I appreciate it. So, the only thing I can further do is say, if you're an absolute police officer and you've been working for more than 2 years now because of the racist climate, I'd like somebody to have some experience. You know, feel free to give your experiences down below. You know, we should all be friendly about this, because this is an adult and serious conversation where people are actually afraid for their lives, and in which I consider improperly afraid for their lives. And I think we should be giving them some consolation and understanding so that they know the appropriate way to go about surviving and not freaking out and running around and flailing their arms and screaming help until someone does have to tase them, or attacking the police officer and having to get shot, because their life is important enough to somebody that let's help them go home. Let's give people good advice so that they can make it home and the police officer can make it home. Can we agree that the life of the person driving that's watching this video that wants to know how to survive is important? If you're black and you've come to this video to see how to survive a police pullover, your life matters to your parents, your life matters to your children, your life matters to your friends and family. It's worth going home. I promise. So just do what you're supposed to do. No one's having that conversation. No one is saying do the right thing. Everyone is saying the cops are bad. No one is saying you have to do the right thing. If I get pulled over and I got 2 hookers in the back and I've just fucked one and killed the other, there's an underage minor in this front seat up here naked, there's 500 pounds of marijuana, 2 pounds of cocaine, 3 illegal submachine guns, and a whole bunch of notes and papers that say that there's, you know, Hispanic guys in the trunk that are getting dropped off somewhere in so-and-so. And I get pulled over for speeding, and I'm not wearing a seatbelt, and I got a joint in my mouth, and I am fucking lit off my ass drunk. There is no point in arguing. I am in the wrong. I'm in the wrong. You got me. You got me. Okay? And everything below it is the exact same. Okay, I was doing 12 over. You got me. That's all I was doing was 12 over. So I'm good with that. I'll pay the ticket. I'll talk to a lawyer. It's not the end of the world to sign a ticket and go on your merry way. Don't do the other stuff. Just don't. Y'all, this video was recorded on Sunday, so have a great Sunday. And as always, be safe out there.